Welcome back to the Find Me Alpha LCS here between Double Penetration and Lunchboxes of Doom. I am still Minbung and I am still joined here by the ADC formerly known as Mousecop Midnight Wisp. As we just saw Double Penetration take a sub 30-minute game against Lunchboxes of Doom. How's it going, Midnight Wisp?
It's going great. That game was really bloody. It started at about 13 minutes and didn't stop. So if you missed it, you should definitely go back and watch. Definitely interesting.
Yep. And then looking at the MVP vote, which we will close at the end of Champion Select. You know, I think it has to be OP. Just did so much work there in the bottom lane, was able to turn around. Bear Jr. did get some really nice, plays in the top lane, and found some nice picks and some good ultimates as well. I think what was really good to see from the side of DP was just their decision making to just all go in, and that was great from both sides. But we just saw it with when you have that gold lead on the side of DP, it kind of helps you out a little bit better to make those calls.
Yeah, I think both teams definitely had good things going for them. A lot of those fights were back and forth, DP and Box, and then just at that point where DP won that fight and took Baron, that was really where the game just broke open for them, and it was really hard for Lunchboxes to get back in it. But right up until then, they were staying in it really well.
Yep, as we are at picks and bans, and the first three bans from DP are the same, but the only thing switching on the side of Lunchboxes of Doom is they're actually going to ban the Bramhout and leave the Garen up for Bear Jr. that he's going to hover and select it first pick right away.
Now, I wonder if we see them take away Lucian here too. I think it would be good to take away from OP after that good performance he had on it. He's shown that he can play it well. So I think taking it away is something that Boxes might want to do. Although the Xayah Rakan lane really did work out for them, and Piper did get ahead. So running that back wouldn't be the worst thing for them. They just need a little bit better comp to go around it.
Yeah, as the
or a better way to get on the Lucian.
Well, the Rakan is locked in for the side of Lunchboxes of Doom. You kind of have to feel that the Xayah has to be locked in right here, as to not be taken away, unless you want to do the Lucian right here.
Yep. They've got a lock in their AC, I think. If they don't pick Lucian, they know they're playing against it. Yeah, they're gonna pick the Xayah, which I mean it's fine. I think that both are good picks with the Rakan. DP is actually gonna go for the Sivir. Power up the Garen. Power up the Garen.
Yeah, the Sivir being banned out last time, and Morgana coming out again for the side of the Torpedo right here. Looking at this pick right here, I know that Zerudo, their top lane sub, does play Aurelia. So maybe that's the reason why they didn't they let the Garen going through. Maybe that's something that they can play into, as they're almost going to run back the exact same comp, it seems. Feeling like, okay, we had a good comp, we could make this work. We just didn't execute on it, and we kind of just let things get out of hand, as the Skarner is now banned on the side of Box. So taking that away from DP, as a Darius does get banned away from most likely Zerudo, who has, I guess, played it somewhat previously before, but just probably a counter lane matchup for the Garen, as we do have the War of the God Kings not going to happen here, as the Thresh is also banned away from Gert.
Yeah, the Darius is just really strong into Garen. Pretty much anybody that's melee. Oh, and they're banning the Ornn too. So they are going to have to switch up their comp a little bit.
Yeah, not be able to run about the exact same comp. I think you could still pick the Trundle here if you wanted to run that back as well. But the Gnar being taken into the Garen. Very interesting.
Yeah,
right
pretty
here.
gnarly pick there, if you ask me.
I'm now currently solo casting Uh, God, I got nothing to say. Alistar being picked up by Gert. So the Sivir Alistar bot lane coming in. A lot of ability to get like some fake tankiness and some tower dives going in. It's a good Gert champion.
Yeah, very, very aggressive, and the Sivir comp is going to death ball with the Garen and the Morgana just running at them. And the Olaf, yeah, Olaf and Sivir go really well together.
Yep, this is a
Scary team fight for
definite
DP.
death ball comp from the side of DP. But they will not spike as hard in the mid game as previous. They'll still have a Trinity Force user in the top lane. Most likely Garen going to be going for that Trinity Force into a dead man's plate. Sivir will probably have an item and a half at that point. Olaf, early game jungler. And the Nocturne coming out for Ruyan right here. As I can't wait to see how this one works out. That is going to provide a lot of global pressure on the side of bots that they did not necessarily have last time outside of their TPs.
Yeah, I think he's got to get going really early because I think Morgana and Alistar are going to be able to shut him down in team fights if they play it correctly. But they do have a lot of pick potential again with the Lissandra and the Nocturne and the Rakan. So if they can get picks, they're a lot more in on the pick comp this time and a lot less 5v5. Gnar obviously is really good in team fights, especially following up the Lissandra or Rakan engage. But I think there's actually some really good disengage on the side of DP. The Sivir, a lot of times Sivir can run at you or she can run away from you just as well. And it's sometimes hard to just lock her down. Especially with the whole move speed buff for your whole team.
I tend to agree. Looking at these comps, though, we gave it to Box last time. I think it's going to be hard pressed to vote against DP because I feel like when we were talking last time about ease of execution, it's got to go to the side of DP. I think the only thing that kind of worries me is the Olaf pick going on Kingston.
Yeah, I think that I agree. DP does have the easier comp, and I would agree that they're probably favored in this game. Just looking at the comps, I think that their comp has a little bit more synergy together, and I think that Olaf could be pretty good, especially with all the CC coming out of lunch boxes. He can really get on the face of Xayah pretty well. But you're right. I think it does it fits in with the Sivir, but it doesn't really fit in with what DP's trying to do. I don't think.
We're just not known for, I mean, as we saw in the last game, he was on the Skarner, not necessarily an early game champion, but even on the likes of Xin Zhao, we've seen Kingston go a little bit too aggressive sometimes, or be in positions to where he does get caught out. I do think that while the Nocturne does have a good clear, it's not as healthy. And our resident Gnar main, Guy Fieri, coming in saying good luck to Zawoldo, because Garen into Gnar is not fun. And that is what I thought when I saw it locked in. So I'm glad I was correct.
That might just be a comfort thing for Zawoldo, is just he may not be comfortable on very many top lane champions. I don't know. So he would probably rather play a poor matchup in the Gnar, have a little bit more teamfight utility, than play something he's not necessarily comfortable with.
Yeah, it'll be definitely on. I'm putting a whole lot onto Aurelion this game in terms of, getting some lane ahead. And that darkness now lasting for what feels like an eternity when you're in game could help turn some of these fights around. Maybe focusing this bot lane that will be pushing into the Xayah Rakan lane. Who knows?
Yeah, or even just counter the aggression from Bear top and try to get some ganks on him. Get the Gnar rolling a little bit. That might help him out, even though it's just a terrible matchup in general.
Yeah.
Either way, get the bot lane snowballed. Because the Zyrocon did well for them last game, and they don't have the Braum to worry about nullifying Zaya's damage this time.
Yeah.
So that could be good. Or just countering aggression top.
Now, as we go into this final minute before the spectator delay, I'm just going to say, I think we've talked about it at length, but I'm taking DP here for all the reasons that we've talked about previously.
Yeah, just Garen having a pretty easy lane top, barring, no jungle intervention, which is unlikely, but just in a vacuum, Garen versus Gnar, Garen should win. And then Sivir and Alistar can play pretty safe, just push in and back, or just push in and wait for the lane to reset, not really get all in. I think the Torpedo has a good matchup into the Lissandra as well, just on a champion with the Black Shield. Really hard to all in.
Yeah, seeing the exact same mid lane matchup as last game. Chat, give us your hashtag DP win or hashtag box win right now. Lunchboxes of Doom needs one win to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Coming in to the second to last week before playoffs, or before finals standings are set. DP needs this win to keep their playoff hopes alive as well. So both of these teams kind of on like match point for their playoff hopes. One team's playoff hopes will be dashed at the end of this match.
Yeah, I think that this match is super important for both of these guys. Someone's going to get eliminated, so it's... I think that either team could win, just like last game. Like we've said before, I think DP has a better overall comp for their team.
Yeah. Golly. That's just a death ball of a comp.
Yeah. Sivir plus Garen. Garen's already super speedy.
Yeah, there's also a lot of point and click R's on the side of box, so that's good. I think if you can see the same type of success from OP and Gert that you saw last game, it kind of makes it easier for DP. I think if it's me, I want to focus this bot or mid lane. Or if I can put Kingston really far behind to where anytime he wants to ult in, he just gets evaporated. Because in the early game, Olaf, not that tanky, has the Ragnarok to just go through and stuff like that. But if you can just focus him down in a fight and just start the fight out 4v5, I think that's really, really good. But they do have a lot of different ways of dealing with the CC. The Spell Shield on both Morgana and Sivir, the Ragnarok, and the Alistar ultimate as well. Garen, I believe, has something that reduces disables or something.
Yeah, it's his W, the thing that makes him more tanky.
Yeah.
Gives him more armor and magic resist, and then reduces his disable duration.
Yeah, so that's pretty fun against a full CC team.
Yeah.
As we are coming to the last 30 seconds of this, so... two teams fighting for their playoff hopes. Who will it be? And why? Find out now on PMA LCS here with Minbung and Midnight Wisp. The Minbung Wisp or the Midnight Bung. Whatever.
No. No, not that one.
Not that one?
Not the Midnight Bung. No.
Ah, the Midnight Bung. Yes.
The more I think about it, I'm really questioning why Box didn't go with the Trundle. I mean, isn't that like just a really good pick into the Olaf?
Yeah.
In general, I'm not the jungle main here. I'm not an excellent jungler, but
nor am I. We got to get Maya's opinion.
Well, Maya asked I saw him ask in the chat last game why Trundle wasn't building full damage. Which, I have to agree. Full damage is the only way to go. That's all I know how to build.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop the music and pretend like I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
we do.
But,
we get some
like Trundle...
hashtag Popo throws in the chat, so that's
nice.
They could still throw even when they don't play.
Nice.
Although I will mention that Rafal said all of the icons matched and they would have won, and now we're seeing 4 bears and a party Poro in the top lane. So, I don't know, man. That party Poro is pretty strong.
4 bears, 1 Poro. I've seen a video like that before.
I have not. Nor would I like to. Now we're going to be going to Airy. The grass coming up for the Garen. Another Predator jungler for Kingston HyperX. And Lethal Tempo this time for the Xayah in the bot lane.
Yeah, a lot more DPS with that. I mean, I've seen a lot more people taking it, and especially with Fleet Footwear getting nerfed over and over and over. The sustain, when you're, it's good on Kai'Sa because it has the AP scaling with it. But I think it's arguable that you could go Lethal Tempo or press the attack or Conqueror if you're the right champion on pretty much any marksman now. I don't think Fleet Footwork is necessarily bad, but it just doesn't give the sustain that it used to. And with you spiking later, you would rather just have the DPS from press the attack or Lethal Tempo.
Yep, as we are.
That's a polarizing opinion.
As we are finally in to here. So Midnight Wisp, I have a question.
Okay, I might have an answer.
Of these two teams, as a member of a team who's most likely going to be making playoffs, which team would you most likely not want to see and why?
Well, just based on my team's record versus these two teams, we 2-0'd Bears team, and we 1-1 with lunchboxes. And the game we won, they were playing some cheesy Mordekaiser stuff. So I would probably rather play against TP. And that's not to say they're a bad team, but I think that they can be exploited. And I think lunchboxes are going to get caught here.
Well, as they're all jumping together, Boomer and Blade Deuce get up. Yeah, as we will give some... Yeah, jumping. We will give some... what's the word I'm looking for? Clarity as to the 2-0 that you received was off of the back of some major throws on the side of DP.
Yeah, I agree.
Almost making it to where your top laner made the Garen win rate go down, but he couldn't throw what StarCraft has built with the perfect Cho'Gath win rate in PMA LCS.
Sure. Level 1 fight from the Zyrakan.
Yeah, usually going to benefit. Then the OP comes out, the Ignite, the heal comes out. Slaga's going to go down almost to the Ignite, and First Blood coming out to Gert right here. Piper just standing a little bit too far back, it seemed, to even get the damage. So 3 summoners for 4 in the bot lane, but First Blood coming out again for the side of this bot lane of double penetration.
Yeah, it just didn't look like they were on the same page there. I think that Zyra and Rakan should have the advantage in that level 1, especially if they had hit level 2 first. But yeah, it just didn't look like they were on the same page. Piper kind of backed off when Slaga went in, so that's just kind of a miscommunication from them.
Yep, and
also assuming that, yep, right.
Aurelion getting caught out by Kingston HyperX right here. Does have the spell shield and the flash coming out as the torpedo misses the binding. Jusmi goes out, lands the root on the Kingston HyperX. Just going to trade some damage back as Aurelion does actually secure the Scuttle Crab right here. We've been seeing these junglers meet up a lot in these rivers, especially in these early Scuttle exchanges.
But like I was gonna say, you kind of assume that my team's gonna make playoffs, and we've got me on the team, so probably not the case. But in all seriousness, we still have to make playoffs for me to even play these guys.
Well, yeah. So one of these teams again, as we will kind of paint the picture again, both of these teams need this win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Lunchbox has kind of seen a little bit of resurgence, had a little bit of a low slump in the beginning as Aurelion is down here in this bottom lane, going to land the Q on to Opie. Opie doesn't have flash or anything. Going to secure the kill for Aurelion right here on this bot lane. So nice focus on the flashless Sivir right here. Not able to spell shield that Q damage or the trail for the Nocturne to speed up and catch on to her.
Yeah, she used the spell shield really early there in it and paid the price for it. Could have just kind of held on to it until you actually saw the CC abilities come in, either the fear or the knock up from Rakan. Gnar being safe, which is good.
Yep, Zarudo just bopping on top of Kingston's head and says, hey, there's a reason why Garen's not fighting me over CS. Oh, look, it's a Viking. As Gert just wants to trade back some damage right here. Torpedo going a little bit better. Actually worse for wear in the mid lane. Right here as Zerwildo's going to be at a CS disadvantage again in this top lane. But the bot lane now is looking so much better for the side of Lunchboxes as they are just only about 3 CS behind right this moment.
Yeah, they're going to have a wave crash here. It's pretty big. They might get about 4 or 5 of these.
Juice Me Ocean landing some damage, just a little poke auto attacks in between there, showing that even mid lane mages can land auto attacks and get some damage down as my client freezes. Alright, and we're good. As pings come out towards the dragon as Gert is warding around the area trying to see if there was anybody there, scouting out some vision with the Scryers blooming the bot lane jungle.
Yeah, overall things being pretty even, except for top lane. Top lane's out of 10, 11 CS lead. No, that's 13. I can do math. But that's kind of expected with that lane. Going to be ahead.
Yep, we're seeing level 6s around the board right now as well for the solo lanes. And 5s and 6s about to come up for the sides of the junglers as well. Juice Me Ocean landing it, gets a lot of damage down to the Torpedo, who does land the Q but doesn't have enough damage to take down the Torpedo right here. Torpedo had to flash away. Juice Me Ocean just having to expend the ultimate.
Yeah, Torpedo was out of mana there, so it was a really easy all-in from Lissandra, knowing that he can't Black Shield, he doesn't have mana. So, good by Juice Me Ocean to try to pressure that. Almost gets the kill, but it didn't take Ignite, so unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky indeed. Having the TP for, just lane presence. Being able to...
who's a team player?
Torpedo not opting to TP back in as Garen is going to pick up a little bit of that farm in the mid lane. As Kingston HyperX is looking in this bot side as we're about to hit 6s in this bot lane. Flash coming out from Gert, a headbutt smashes onto nothing as Piper flashes really early. They get the Ignite down onto Kingston. The heals burn from Opie though, and the Ignite goes down on the Piper is as well. Gert goes back in for a slight re-engage, and the ult comes out in the top lane for Garen, but no kills on top of that. Slugga looking for a slight engage as he's going to find Gert right here, and they're going to get the kill on the Piper is right there. As the return damage, the ultimate comes out, flash burns for Opie right there as the Nocturne Darkness comes down, becoming the nightmare of Opie having to burn his flash right here. So a 2-for-0 on a counter gank return for the side of Lunchboxes of Doom. In the top lane, Zerwildo not having to burn anything. Flash and TP both burn for Bear Jr. and the ult expended, but Zerwildo gets away with his life.
Yeah, he did get forced out there, but it's good that he's just staying alive, farming what he can, not dying. Not dying is the most important thing. Getting the Garen kills is not what you want to do. But yeah, good turn by Box there in the bottom lane. Just played it back, waited for Nocturne to get there, and then turned it. Also, I think Kingston took a little bit too much damage. We thought he was a little tankier than he was, and Oh, almost dies to blue buff there. That would be the mouse cop special if he died to a buff. But, yeah. Just overall, good turn by Box there, I think.
Agreed. Now I'm caught up with you, so I won't be behind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, your client close, that's right. I was wondering what...
No, yeah, because you were like, he almost died to blue buff. I was like, is he gonna die? Small 400 gold lead right here. Juice Me Ashen having the better of this lane this time, and also in the bot lane a small CS lead, but the kills on the Piper is as he's going to be going for that Storm Razor once again. The Nocturne ultimate about 3/4 of the way back off of cooldown. Hopefully, you know, trying to focus either this mid or this bot lane, which was just burned all of its summers, and it's your most reliable lanes, this mid and bot, for CC and for you to latch onto it and do some damage.
Yeah, bot lane has to play a little bit safer now that they're pretty far behind. I mean, CS wise, it's not so bad, but and OP should get a lot of this wave once it crashes.
Yep. Kingston HyperX though in this Tri-Brush. Also, flash ult coming out. Aurelion just explodes. Nice flash ult from the side of Juice Me Ashen. As now in the bot lane, they're clearing out some vision, but here comes Juice Me Ashen as the TP also comes out. Nice root collar and turn this on. Get the charm onto Opie. The kill going over to Piper as it is, and Aurelion flashes to secure the kill onto Opie right there, who spell shielded a little bit too early. Nice TP coming out from Juice Me Ashen, making plays around the map with their jungler.
And an Infernal Drake too to top it off. That's really good for the side of Lunchboxes.
Yeah, I think
really good turn there. Again, just good team play.
Yeah, boxes have been known as maybe one of the other teams to make really good mid-game adjustments, losing game 1, winning game 2, I feel like, in most of their series, as a nice play caller does come up for Piper. But this bot lane, I think the thing that you see that's better for them is they're not trying to force plays as much outside of that first blood that they gave over, but they're able to use their summoner spells or their you know, nullifying CC effects earlier on as to not die with them up as we saw in the previous game with these exact same two champion picks.
Right, and they also don't have to worry about a ton of CC off the side of DP, which is something I don't think we really highlighted as much in Champ Select. They had a good synergistic comp, but they've really only got CC on the Torpedo and Gert, so it'll be really hard to actually lock down the Xayah this time without having the Skarner there, like they did in the previous game.
And even the Aurelia landing some of those fairly clutch 2-man stuns. Now there is still a top lane CS lead, but it is nowhere near the levels of where it was last time. So Worldo kind of holding his own, hopefully not going to be cast or cursed by me saying that, as we do see Bear Jr. start to go a little bit aggressive, trimming down this minion wave. But Zerwoldo just kind of abusing the range matchup whenever he gets the chance.
Yeah, I think Lunchbox is doing a really good job of countering the aggression from Gert. As Lissandra will get away there, but he's one of those players that's really naturally aggressive, and he's playing a champion like Alistar, and they're doing really well of countering that, waiting for him to be aggressive and then punishing him for that.
Yep, Slugger right here, gonna get headbutt pulled back, but the jump range of the Xayah Rakan is just far too much. Oof. It won't matter. Disgusting.
So disgusting.
Yeah, I think we saw that in the first gank attempt down bot lane, where Slugger was a little bit further up when Piper flashed away, but then was able to just E to the Xayah using that ability. As Kingston is here in the bot lane, but so is Aurelion, not knowing really where everyone is. Juice Me Ashen also down here in this bot lane, as Slug is going to go back to try to clear out this pink ward vision on Gert. Going to get CC'd right here. Going to get ulted as well, and then just taken down by the rest, as the ult also, the TP is also coming out for the side of box from Zawoldo as the ultimate is used from Aurelion to try to get this first tower as the mid lane tower is going down. But they will secure this first tower for the side of box. Probably going to get the return tower in mid lane, but they do have a wave here that they can use now that the bot lane is not here.
Yeah, they don't get the mid tower on that push. They might on this next push if Torpedo keeps pushing, but they're going to lose a second tier.
Yeah, they'll be losing 2 towers for 2 towers, but 1 tier 2 for 2 tier 1s, and a tier 1 on the side of box as well. So kind of nice rotational play right here, as they're going to be forcing this down now. Just taking as much tower aggro as they can, trying to save the minion wave. But mid lane and top lane tier 1 towers going down for the side of box. As the Torpedo's just
Torpedo
gonna
didn't finish the tower?
He's gonna roam over to the Herald instead.
Okay.
I mean, it's about what's the health on this tower? 153. So that's about 2-3 auto attacks. You see that Zawoldo has spotted them out at the Rift Herald. Has to have Kingston HyperX flash over. Tries to flash over to follow. But now they have this warded out. And this could be on the side of Box to take this.
But it
reset. Could they find...
I was about to go Mega for a fight here.
As Aurelion will have the ultimate here within about the next 30 seconds, as Opie and Gert are pushing down this bot lane though, as the mid lane is actually going to go down first for the side. Oh, this is a really bad TP for the side of DP. Doesn't get it through, it gets cancelled by the turret going down. Finding Gert right here, possibly caught out. Slaga's going to try to engage but can't find one. Kingston tries to start up the Rift Herald again, but pings go down because that will be in vision. So, turret trade again. 1 tier 1 bot for the tier 1 in mid lane. Looking at about a 3,000 gold lead right now.
Yeah, I don't think Bear even wanted that TP anyways. I think he would have just died. It was just him there that he was TPing to that tower. So I think that the Rito gods saved him by not letting him TP to that tower.
Now, could the Rito gods have saved him, or could Box have baited him into actually coming in and then just killed him?
Let's see. Next level mind games. We don't know.
Yeah.
I think they should have. I mean, if it was me, I like getting kills.
Yeah. Someone in chat who is a far better jungler than I says that DP is not playing what Sean would play, so that's a loss. Well, he was right last time in the sense that Skarner was picked, and that's something that Menbung would play. And they won. So we'll see if Malie's logic is foolproof. Being the best jungler in PMA LCS. One would hope. They are clear.
Yeah, that Sean guy seems to like to play Trundle too. Yeah. So
not entirely sure about that.
Maybe he's talking about that.
Yeah, there could be something about that too. Who knows? I don't know who Sean is.
Oh yeah. I know he's not here right now, but
if only he was here, he could answer. As they will start out this Ocean Drake on the side of box in vision. Zawoldo just trying to hold on to this as the binding does land. Juice Me Oshman going in right there, lands it on the Torpedo. The Torpedo gets stunned, but Slaga just dies. They do secure the Ocean Drake, but then he goes right on top of the Torpedo, taking the Torpedo down. The Garen ult coming down. A triple kill for Kingston HyperX as Zawoldo is going to try to pop Mega, but he is silenced right now. Does land it, but it doesn't get the Mega Gnar as he pops over with the Blast Plant. A big miscommunication on the side of box, trying to do too many things at once.
Yeah, I think Juice Miyasha not ulting himself in some of these fights is really hurting them. I think that just the healing you get back and just the AoE slow is just as good as ulting a single target, especially because it's a longer duration. I think in that fight specifically, instead of ulting just one target, I think ulting himself while he's in the middle of their team would have been a lot better.
As we are going to fight over this Rift Herald version 2.0 again. Aslaga does find a catch onto Bear Jr. right there. Gert trying to find some damage down or land some CC as they're going to let the Rift Herald reset. A huge wave crashed into the bot lane inhibitor turret that was picked up by OP to try to get a little bit more CS and get to these power spikes. Only sitting on a static shift, but did just purchase that and is sitting even now in the CS department.
Yeah, also it's important to note that Lunchboxes did get that dragon off of that fight earlier, so it's not extremely terrible that they went 1 for 3 in the fight, but obviously could have gone better for them. But getting the dragon's a good nice trade. 2 kills for a dragon outright. It was an Ocean Drake, so
yeah. Really interesting to see that Aurelion has gone for the Devourer enchantment instead of the Warrior enchantment on this Nocturne. So that's going to be a lot of attack speed when that lethal tempo does proc, but not necessarily as much damage as you're probably looking for to probably try to take some of these squishies out. But all 3 of those kills did go on to Kingston HyperX, which will afford them probably a lot more tankiness. Juicy Ashman just ease away for the Predator burned right there.
Yeah, also Nocturne going for the GA as a second item. I don't know how you feel about that. I feel like he's going to last a little bit longer in the back line, but at the same time, it's a lot less damage than like a, I don't know, Dustblade or something else would be.
Yeah, I think a Black Cleaver might be better for this comp because you are going to have the tankiness of the Garen and the Olaf to deal with, and it will help for like the armor shred. I don't mind the GA. I think the more interesting pick is the Devourer because the Warrior enchantment does give you AD and some nice CDR, which is very important for Nocturne. I did not see the secondary tree that Aurelion was running. Have to try to figure that out. DP not playing what Shaman played, but also Olaf Sivir is the CNCND comp that has yet to lose. Olaf Sivir. The one NTA with Olaf, we didn't have Sivir, so as far as I know, Olaf Sivir is undefeated.
So Aurelion's runes are, he went the Lethal Tempo, Precision Tree, Triumph, Alacrity, and then on a secondary he's got Sorcery, and he's got No Magic Orb, and the Water Walking.
One would think that with Water Walking you would definitely want to go Celerity as well to kind of double dip in that movement speed buff. Also, he could have gone the Ultimate Hunter route for the ult cooldown to have that on faster use, because kind of in a comp like this you'd have to think maybe you want the more cooldowns, because every time y'all can press R you're just going to go in. As we do see some side lanes being pushed for the side of both DP and Lunchboxes, as this lead is almost back down to a 1,000 gold lead. With a minute 30 left on the drag, Baron has spawned past 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean it's questionable how many actual auto attacks he's going to be able to get off on their backline. Sure, he has the GA. He won't get like instant pop till he'll have the revive, but I mean mostly you're gonna be ulting, you're gonna Q and maybe get a couple off before you just die. As we see it engage
here comes Piper as Isis flying away, but then the re-engage right there as the ult goes down onto the Sivir. The bottom lane does go down for the side of Lunchboxes of Doom, but here comes Aurelion trying to take as much, and he gets a double kill right there and a triple kill on there. The Devourer coming in clutch with the Lethal Tempo. A 4 for 2 right there. Your questions are answered with how much damage he's going to get done on that backline as the CC does land. Trying to lane the Fear as well. Jusmiashin going down, but also an ace coming up for Zarudo and Aurelion.
Yep, I don't know why I say things. I mean, he definitely got a ton of auto attacks off in that fight. I mean, that's partially because
The focus
a
was.
lot of DP's focus was not on him. It wasn't a standard fight necessarily. It was more of a turn from the side of Lunchboxes. With the Sivir using ult and the Olaf just running at the Xayah, getting the Xayah down, then Nocturne was more there to clean up in that fight. But I mean, it's working out. However, they're doing it. So
Yeah, Aurelion definitely a fan of the Devourer enchantment. And they're going to pick up a second Infernal Drake here. Although Gert is looking for an engage, but they do have Mega Gnar right now. As they do land it on the Piper as Isis. A nice two-man stun from Zaruto, but no one really there to pick it up. But Opie does go down from this as the unstoppable Garen's on the back line right there. Does get stunned up. Aurelion trying to land the fear. Gert does take down Piper's Isis, but Slaga, the support's getting some kills right here and some supportal combat over the carries of each team. Piper's Isis does go down, but Bear Jr., who TP'd into the backline, goes down as well. A 1-for-2 trade benefiting the side of Box, but they also get the Infernal Drake.
I'm really surprised that TP didn't get more off of that fight because it was looking really good for them. They had the Garen flank, they caught Piper, and there wasn't really follow-up on the Gnar engage initially, but Lunchboxes ended up coming out with it, I guess. Just Bear going down in the back line, didn't have really follow-up from his team. It's a little bit split from them.
Yeah, also pointed out by one of our observers that Morgana black shielded the Olaf when Olaf ultimated, so kind of just wasting the CC nullification onto one target, as you were saying earlier, that Morgana can only black shield one person, kind of leaving OP to dry right there, taking some of that damage from the Mega Gnar ultimate and then the subsequent damage from Piper's Isis.
Yeah, it looks like OP's going to finish an Infinity Edge second item, which could be pretty good. I don't hate it. There's some differing opinions on what I mean. The ADC build is kind of wide open right now. There's nothing really that's found to be the most optimal on anybody that I've found, at least. So I don't think finishing ADC or finishing IE second is necessarily terrible.
Yeah, it'll definitely get your crit chance up. Now he'll have 60% crit chance, which is fairly nice, as they're just going to be clearing out some of this vision in the Dragon Pit, all while being on a ward that they haven't spotted yet. Zerwildo doesn't have the Frozen Mallet yet, so not able to just chase down this Garen and find picks that way for the side of Lunchboxes, but places the pink ward down. So they're just going to be fighting over the vision, as both teams understand that this is each team's win condition right now. They're trying to just crack this game open, unless they can find some picks like they've previously been doing. As a big wave is forming in the bot wave, so someone's going to have to answer that with OP being there.
Sivir will press W.
Yeah, well, with this being the case, Bear Jr. going to be spotted out here in the top lane.
Yeah, it was a pretty massive wave. He just went from about 201 CS to 222 in a matter of 2 seconds. So just Sivir doing Sivir things.
Sivir's a fun and balanced champion, everybody, is what Mousecop's trying to say.
I mean, she's actually pretty balanced, I think. I think she's really good in a 5 setting when you can communicate with your teammates, but I wouldn't play her in solo queue and think she's OP or anything.
I'd play her in solo queue because she's got a go button that makes a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing just say, oh, let's do this. Because you don't need to, like, be Lee Sin and then Q and then ward hop and then, oh, wait, I wasn't expecting you to do that. I pressed R. What more do you want from me?
Yeah, I don't know, though. Like, in situations like these, if I was OP in a solo queue game, I would feel really bad. Because that 2-item spike is a lot less strong than it used to be. You just feel like you do no damage. Been there.
Yep. As the aggro on the Baron's going to come down and take a little bit of chunk out of Gert and Bear Jr., but nothing too crazy. Looking around a 3,000 gold lead, as we're still just fighting over vision right now, so we've kind of slowed down from the pace that we've had earlier on in this game, especially from last game. At this moment, the game was over, so that's good for the side of Lunchboxes of Doom, as we are at 22 kills in 28 minutes. Playing a more calculated, relaxed, concise style over here for the Boxes of Doom.
Yeah, DP just can't seem to get that bot lane actually pushed all the way out. It always seems to be pushing into them. Now Bear went and answered the big wave there, but for some reason it just keeps pushing back into him. Keep having that bot lane pressure to answer.
Yep, Box getting out-rotated here in the mid lane could be something that Gert and the rest of DP try to look for and engage on, as they will have priority in this mid lane. But you could see a flank and a huge engage from Slaga as the Torpedo takes 2 tower shots. Here comes the engage right here. Massive ultimate coming up from Aurelion. Huge blade collar toward Kingston Hyperx is the first one to go down. Juice Miyashin takes down and then ults Opie right there. Doesn't have Zhonya's, gets silenced, but then here comes Piper Is and the rest of Lunchboxes of Doom taking out the entirety of clean ace for 1 on the side of Lunchboxes of Doom, flanking all over double penetration as they are looking towards this Baron now here at 30 minutes.
Yeah, just not having Kingston really able to get onto Piper and be able to just kill him before he dies is really good for the Lunchboxes of Doom, because that was kind of what they needed to happen. Otherwise, they don't really have a way to get onto this Xayah, and that in that fight you just saw what happens when you can't get onto a Xayah. Just cleans up, and then Aurelion doing a good job of diving in and then getting back out before he dies.
Yeah,
that was a really well played fight by them overall.
Having his GA pop during that fight, but he did have the Desk Blade to provide a lot more damage with lethality onto OP. Also, Juice Miyashin able to focus down, killing the Torpedo with a Q, and then taking the rest of it away as Aurelion is spotted out on this Drake, but they still will get this, most likely. 3, 2, 1, lands the smite. Here comes the TP, though, from Bear Jr. as flashes are burned everywhere. Gert goes down immediately. Piper is ISIS, jumps away with Slaga. No, they're not going to use the Blast Plant. They're being chased down by Bear Jr. right now, who does have ult available, as the TP came back from behind. Juice Miyashin canceled the TP, as Zerwildo is with them as well. So they get out with Dragon and a kill, but a bunch of flashes burned on the side of Lunchboxes.
They're looking to push bot lane too, but I think that just the wave clear from Xayah is going to be able to clear this out pretty well. Someone in chat asked if Lucian was available for OP, and yeah, it was. He just decided to go for the Sivir that they banned out first game. And I agree, it was really strong last game. I think that picking it here would have been good, but they opted to go for the Sivir Death Ball, kind of run at you comp, which I think isn't terrible either. But having OP on a champion that he just played well on, I think may have been better for them, kind of in hindsight.
Yeah, I think.
And someone asked about Stormrazor too. Stormrazor on Sivir. Stormrazor as an item in general, I don't know. It's just, it's like it feels good as a really good as a first item, but the longer you have it, the less good it feels. Because you only get your proc one time in a fight usually. If you're waiting to auto, you're missing out on DPS. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's a really good first item, and then after that, it just kind of gets worse as the game goes on. And that's my opinion.
So looking at some of these KDAs, 2-0 and 5 for top lane, 8-1 and 6, 1-3 and 13, 8-2 and 9, and 1-3 and 17 for the side of Box from top to bottom. 1-3 and 3, 4-3 and 2, 0-4 and 5, 2-5 and 5, 2-5 and 6. So you can see that, you know, even though Kingston had a really rough game, early game, that triple kill kind of made him a little bit more relevant. But on the side of Boxes of Doom, you're looking at this mid and jungle duo as people who've been really doing well. And then also Zerudo, who's been holding his own against Bear Jr., now seeing a bit more of a CS discrepancy as Box has opted into a 1-3-1 with their jungler in the bot lane, trying to use this remaining part of this Baron buff that has really netted them nothing in terms of objectives outside of a second Ocean Drake and a kill.
Yeah, I think this game we're seeing what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, which is the Olaf Sivir combo versus the Lunchbox's will to 1-1 every series. So we're really seeing which one's going to win out here.
Yeah, definitely trying to find out which plot armor is thicker. And as we all know here in PMA LCS, we love the thick things.
Yes, with 2 C's.
Yes, spaces in between.